Hello, everyone. I'm Sarah Montgomery. Thank you for joining us. I apologize for the delay. We had a little technical glitch, so even the more reason to work with mindfulness today. So I am a certified mindfulness educator and founder of Peace Within Mindfulness for Veterinarians. And I thank you for joining us for this workshop on compassion fatigue and mindfulness in vet med. I hope that the strategies that I share with you today can support you as you navigate compassion fatigue and do the important work of your powerful profession. So before we kick off, I want to give you a little overview of what we're planning to do during these 20 to 30 minutes, just so you know what to expect. So first, I am going to teach 3 different breathing strategies that you can use to help yourself feel more calm and to support you navigating compassion fatigue. And then I'm going to talk about compassion fatigue and specifically the research on self-compassion as one way to navigate this. And then I'm going to lead us in a guided mindfulness practice on honoring emotions, followed by teaching you some specific strategies that you can use to use touch to help support your parasympathetic nervous system. I hope that these help you. Let's get started. So the first breathing strategy that I want to teach you is the extended exhale. And before we get into that, I just want to say that you can use your breath as a tool to help you feel more calm. And research has shown how you can use your breathing and especially the extended exhale to support you with your parasympathetic nervous system, kind of reminding yourself that I am okay, things are okay. And breathing is a key part of mindfulness. So with the extended exhale, the way that this works is that I am going to count 1, 2 as you inhale, and then I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4 as you exhale. So we'll do this 4 times together. And if you want to have your eyes closed, you can, or if you want to have them open, it's up to you, whatever feels most comfortable for you. So here we go. So you're inhaling as I do 1, 2, and then exhaling as I count 1, 2, 3, 4. So ready? 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and then exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. And then inhale 1, 2, and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. If your eyes are closed, you can open them. And give yourself a moment just to check in with your body and see if you notice any difference from when we started just a few minutes ago. The next breath that I want to teach you is called the shoulder shrug breath. I don't know about you, but I carry a lot of tension in my shoulders and upper back. That seems to be where stress likes to live. And so this breath can be a really helpful way to kind of connect with your body and release some of that tension if you can. So the way that this one works, and I invite you to try it with me, is that you'll inhale as you lift your shoulders up towards your ears, and then you'll exhale as you lower them. And if you want to exhale kind of forcefully, you can be playful with it. And the goal is just to kind of make that exhale a little slower as well. So let's try that 3 times together. Inhaling as we raise our shoulders up, and then exhaling as we lower them. Ready? We'll do it again. One more time. You can just see if that helped you a little bit with some of those tense areas. The last breathing strategy that I want to share with you that has been very well received in the vet med community is the 5-finger breath. And so this one can be really helpful because it's so discreet. You could be doing it under the table. No one really needs to know that you're doing it. It's just something that you're doing to take care of you and to respond to the world in the way that you intend to. So go ahead and hold up one of your hands. And then with your other hand, you'll use your index finger to trace these fingers. And so how it works is that you'll inhale as you move up each finger, and then exhale as you move down. And inhale as you move up, and exhale as you go down. And you continue that the whole way through. So I'll get us started and then I'll let you do the pace that works for you. The goal is to try to be somewhat slow, but everybody has their own pace that works for them. And if you want to close your eyes, it can be a really neat sensation, but you don't have to. So here we go. Inhale as you move up and exhale as you move down. And inhale as you move up, exhale as you move down, and then continue. Go ahead and do it a second time. When you finish, if your eyes were closed, you can open those again and just come back. So any of these breaths can be really helpful throughout your day. You could use them before you know you're going into a tough case or appointment. You could use them before surgery or even after a really challenging interaction with a client or coworker. You could use them in your car before you go into the hospital in the morning or maybe at the end of your day. You might even have a moment to sneak them in throughout your day, just given on the flow of your schedule and if you get some breaks. You can also use these. I know I use these when I try to fall asleep at night. That can be tricky, especially if your mind's just racing or you're feeling anxious or processing, and those can help bring you back. We offer on the Peace Within website some free resources on the resource page, and that includes these breaths, both in visual and in video format. So you can refer to those there if you would like. See how they help you. All right, so let's talk about compassion fatigue and specifically self-compassion. So every day you show incredible care and compassion to the patients that you serve. And you also are walking alongside the clients that you serve and providing emotional support and consolation as they're grappling with tough decisions or maybe even financial limitations. And unfortunately, all too often, more than we would like, sometimes the clients are not responding to you with respect or kindness that you deserve. And so all of this can be very draining. And the mental and emotional exhaustion that you feel, or even numbness at times, can all be considered compassion fatigue. Compassion fatigue can also be called secondary trauma or vicarious traumatization. And what that means is that you may not be experiencing that trauma directly, but you're experiencing it indirectly, that you are alongside and supporting patients and clients who are suffering, and that being a part of that can really impact your health and your well-being. So what can you do? The research in regards to compassion fatigue continually shows that self-care is one huge valuable response. So self-care is key. And I'm not talking about pedicures and massages, even though those sound great, right? I'm talking about figuring out what it is that brings you joy and really trying to make that a part of your routine. Figuring out what fills you up, what helps you recharge, and trying to give yourself the opportunity to engage in that, whether it's just once a week or if you could sneak it in even daily, just to help you fuel and heal and recharge a bit so that you can bring to the world what it is that you want to bring on a daily basis. You can also show yourself deep self-compassion. You're already a very compassionate person. You wouldn't be in this profession if you weren't. And so your compassion is an incredible strength. It could even be seen as a secret superpower. And you can use this superpower to take care of you and to show yourself kindness and compassion in the same way that you do for loved ones or for patients who are suffering. And cultivating this self compassion can help you build resilience, can promote your well being, and help you navigate compassion fatigue. So, a little bit of research about self compassion. So, Dr. Kristen Neff, who's at the University of Texas, Austin, is a pioneering researcher on self compassion. And in her decades of research, she's found that just like we can offer compassion to others, we can offer compassion to ourselves. Instead of judging or criticizing ourselves, we can instead pause and ask, how can I show care for myself right now? And then, just like you would care for a sick patient or a loved one, to respond to that. In her research, she's identified 3 elements of self compassion. And the first one is to be gentle and to be kind with yourself, which can be really tricky. The second one, the second element that she's found is to realize that you're not alone. You are not alone. That unfortunately, suffering is a part of our shared humanity. And then the third element that she's found is that we can use mindfulness to help us support a deeper awareness of our thoughts and emotions, and that mindfulness can help us with building our self-compassion. So if you're not familiar, Peace Within is focused on mindfulness for veterinarians. And what mindfulness means is that you're really trying to cultivate a present moment awareness, that you're paying attention to the present moment on purpose and without judgment, not focusing on yesterday or tomorrow or even later today, but just this moment now and what's happening. And that can be difficult because sometimes what's happening is unpleasant. And so just to be with that and notice it and honor that experience. Mindfulness can be cultivated in a lot of different ways, and maybe you already have some ways that you've found that in your personal life. You can do breathing strategies like we started off with. The breath is such a key part of mindfulness. Giving yourself some quiet moments, getting outside and connecting with nature is powerful and healing. You can do meditation. You can also really connect with the sensations in your body and also your senses in general. You can even do mindfulness through movement or art or eating or even play if you have a hobby or a creative pursuit that you like to try to find time to do. So some key questions that you can consider as we think about this research on compassion fatigue and also self-compassion. The 3 questions are, how am I caring for myself? How am I caring for myself? And then the next question is, how do I care for myself already? Because maybe you realize that you're already doing some things that are helping you and that are working. Maybe you're able to find a little bit of time for exercise or reading for pleasure or getting outside or spending time with your own companion animal. And then the last question is, how can I or am I already making these self-compassion and self-care practices a part of my routine? So that's the biggest piece here, is how can this become part of what you do all the time to try to take care of you, to prioritize your own health and well-being so that you can continue to serve and show compassion in the work that you do. So now I invite you to engage in a self-compassion guided mindfulness practice on honoring emotions. And in this practice, you really give yourself a chance to have the time and the space to honor your emotions, to notice them and to lean into them and to name them. And so instead of ignoring them or just trying to kind of simply move on, you can bring mindful awareness to them. And that can support your self-compassion and help you navigate compassion fatigue. So I invite you to try this with me. If you want, go ahead and take kind of a tall seat and check in with your body. You can notice where your feet touch the ground and just kind of check in with your posture, if you will, for a moment. And then I invite you to close your eyes if you want to, or you can leave them open and take a low gaze. And as you get settled in, I invite you to notice your breath. Feel your breath move through you and notice it. There's no need to change it, but instead, just try to follow 2 whole, complete breaths as they move through your body. Now, I invite you to pause and really turn inward, to listen deeply, and to ask, how do I feel in this moment? And to name the emotion or emotions that you feel. To honor them, to feel them, to really lean in to these emotions. And then you can say to yourself quietly in your mind, in this moment, I feel, and again, name those emotions. Let yourself feel these emotions and try to gently remind yourself that these emotions can change. These emotions do not define you or describe you. They can change, just like the clouds float across the sky. And as you stay with these emotions and name them, try to soothe yourself and ask, what can I do in this moment to comfort or soothe myself? What kind of kindness can I show myself? And just listen. You know what you need, and you know what works best for you. And then try to think of what you can do in this moment or maybe later today to show yourself that kindness and that care in response to these emotions that you've named that you're feeling right now. Then I invite you to take one complete breath and just notice that move through you. You can turn the attention back to your body and maybe even move a little bit if that's comfortable for you. If your eyes were closed, you can open them and come back and honor that you have taken this time to take care of you in these moments. So, checking in and naming your own emotions can support you navigating compassion fatigue and building resilience. And every day you graciously navigate some really intense situations regarding patient care and outcomes and also client communication. And checking in with your emotions is something that you can do at the end of your day, maybe when the day is done, or you could do it really briefly throughout your day where you just pause and give yourself a chance to say, how do I feel in this moment? Wow, I notice that. I feel that. Because research has shown that by naming our emotions, it can actually reduce their intensity And it also can help strengthen our prefrontal cortex, which can help us with decision making and emotional regulation. And so this is actually part of a practice that over time can help you continue to respond to the world in the way that you want to. So the last set of strategies that I invite you to practice with me have to do with self-compassion through touch. And Dr. Kristen Neff at Texas Austin that I just mentioned, she, in her work, writes about how supportive touch can really help remind you and your body that you are safe and help you feel more calm. And that's because touch, like breath, can support your parasympathetic nervous system, which can help you just navigate compassion fatigue and feel that calm. And so, while it might seem silly to engage in soothing touch, and I recognize that, I just invite you to be open and try it out because the power of touch has been well documented in research. We know that oxytocin is released through touch, which can help reduce stress and support feelings of well-being. And research has shown that oxytocin is released when we pet a dog or another beloved companion animal. And in the veterinary profession, touch is such a huge part of what you do every day. You use the power of touch to help connect with an ill patient or to soothe a patient who is anxious or scared. And so you practice the power of touch and know the power of touch. And so I invite you just to, again, with that self-compassion lens, give that to yourself. So the first strategy that I invite you to try is just to put your hand on your heart or your chest and to just notice your breath. And then you can take your other hand and place it on top of your initial hand and just see how that changes things. Notice your heart beating. Notice your breath moving through you. Then with the hand that's on top, you can move that hand to your abdomen. So you have one hand on your chest and one on your tummy. And again, just notice your breath. Notice the sensations moving through your body. Next, I invite you to give yourself a little hug, even if it seems silly, just to give yourself that hug. And then you can even put your hands under your arms and just notice that feeling of that posture, just that security and that comfort. And feeling held. And then I invite you to trace your arms. And so you can just put one arm out and with your opposite hand, just kind of gently move your fingers down your arm a couple of times. And notice what that feels like. And then you can switch sides and do it with the other arm. And last, one of my favorites is where you draw a circle in the palm of your hand. So you can start with whatever hand you want, and then you can use your index finger of the opposite hand just to draw a circle, whatever direction you want, but do it a couple times. And just notice that tactile experience. When you're ready, you can switch hands. And you can just feel those sensations, right, of that tactile experience. So I hope that you found those self-compassion through touch strategies helpful, and you can use those to show yourself kindness. You could do that in the middle of your day, kind of discreetly, or at the end of your day. I know the other night I was having trouble falling asleep, and I noticed that I was doing one hand on my chest and one on my abdomen. So maybe that'll help you too, because it helped me that night. I think these can be really helpful, especially after a tough case or a difficult interaction with a client or coworker. So to start to wrap up, I want to share with you a little bit about Peace Within, Mindfulness for Veterinarians, and what we offer. So our goal and intention is to support and promote the well-being of of veterinarians. And we teach simple evidence-based mindfulness strategies that are 5 minutes or less because we know your time is tight. We offer a monthly membership where you can receive 3 new strategies a month in audio or video format. And when you decide to become a member, you get instant access to the library of strategies that are prepared. And the thing that's really exciting is that these strategies are designed specifically for the vet med community. My own veterinarian shared, who's a dear friend, said, use your teaching to help us. We could really use your help. And so with that, I interviewed over 100 veterinarians along with my husband. And so based on that information, we've designed these strategies to support the specific needs that you may have. To thank you for joining us today. And because we're in a pandemic that might be going on for a while, we've decided to offer a 50% discount. And so in a few minutes, or when we get a chance, we are going to send you a follow-up email with the recording, the link to the recording of this workshop, and then also information on how to become a member or to find out more, and that discount code of 50% off. And we hope that you take a look at it and think about it and share it with colleagues. If you're a vet med student and even with 50% off, this is just not possible in your budget, I get that. And so feel free, if you're interested, to reply to the email and we'll work with you. We'll help you out because we want to help take care of you. We want you to be well. Also, we offer group discounts. So if you're a part of a larger practice or you would want to make this available to your team, email us and we'd be happy to work with you on offering a discount as well so that this can be accessible to your group and you can try it together. Also, in the email, we're going to provide a link to just a super short survey, 2 or 3 questions total. It'll only take a couple minutes. And we'd really appreciate it if you'd fill that out just so we can continue to learn and continue to serve to the best of our ability. So if anyone has any questions about Peace Within or about any of the strategies that I shared today, feel free to type those in the comments. I'll wait just a minute or so here and see if we have anything. And if not, you can totally email us all the time. So okay. I want to thank you for taking time to join us and for taking time to prioritize you and to take care of you. And I hope that these strategies help you. I hope that you're able to pick and choose what best resonates with you and to make that a part of your routine, to show yourself self-compassion and self-care in order to help you with resiliency and in the light of the compassion fatigue that's so prevalent in the vet med community. Again, reach out if you have questions or comments or connections. We thank you. May you be well.